here, French and I both, to talk through what just happened in week 8. And I have not done any of the data work yet. So French and I are just going to start talking, and I'm going to pull it, put it into the sheet, and we'll talk about some stuff.
Yeah, I like doing it
Hey, French.
live. Hey, what's going
Doing
on,
it
Justin?
live.
Jay White in the house. Let's do it.
I,
Broadcasting live from the East Coast.
yes, though, like we just talked about before this, ironically, not actually going to do it in a live stream for this
Yeah,
specific one.
exactly.
But French, you talk for a minute. What's going on with French
Hey, man.
baseball or whatever?
Hey, I'm happy the Yankees finally are getting some dubs. They've been on a schneid. Also those Nationals. I'm a fan of two teams, which I
Right.
know sometimes causes some chaos. But one AL, one NL, one as a historic fandom, Yankees, and one as a I can go see the game anytime I want to. So,
Right.
similar to you with like the Brewers and Rangers.
Yeah.
So, I'm just excited that there's good ball going on, and I love my fantasy team. On Saturday, I sat there and just smoked me a Boston butt all day for like 10 hours, and all I did was absorb baseball, and I just loved it.
Sweet.
So I had myself a great time on Saturday.
I think I've pasted into the group chat like a long time ago how sometimes I have two monitors, and they're both pretty big. They're 32-inch monitors. And so I'll have 4 games on one and 4 games on the other, and so I can have 8 games on a Sunday at noon when they just are like every game is getting underway.
That's
I do
incredible.
love that. Not quite the same as what you said, but I do love that when you can just have nothing but baseball all
Yes,
around. And
sir.
surely you've got one of your players up or doing something, one of your pitchers is going or whatever. Here's a question for you. I think I know your answer. I'd be really curious to know everybody across the league's answer.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm on record with a few of my like coworkers I talk about sports with occasionally. I am a bigger fantasy baseball fan than I am a baseball fan. I'm pretty sure that that's true. I like baseball. I've always grown up with baseball, playing. I'm very familiar with the game, not just from fantasy, but like actually playing and all of that. But I think if I had to choose, would I rather give up fantasy baseball forever or
Yeah.
would I rather just give up baseball watching in real life, like and on TV? I
Right.
think I'd keep fantasy, and I think I'm probably like the one person in the league that might admit that, but I wonder if there's more than one that would
Hey,
when
man,
push
you're the
comes to shove.
commish. You're the commish. You're absorbed in this funky town. Like me personally, I'd rather have baseball than fantasy baseball. But I
I
still
figure.
adore this league. Like this is my number one league. I live and breathe it. And even though I got the asterisk victory in 2020, you know, I try, man. I try. Like this is awesome. I'm just so happy that I was even invited to be a part of this league, just by
Yeah,
knowing a guy who knows a guy. You know what I mean?
right.
So I
Well,
just
glad to
love it.
have you. You feel like an OG member at this
That's
point.
right, man. I only
The
missed
other
like the first
two,
season.
the first one,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
the person you replaced had very few touch points with the rest of the league. Sam was his name. I never even literally met him, not once, not in
Right.
person. He laughed at a few people's draft picks in that first year. This would be just like a random Sam callback that
You're right.
he. I wish I had like kept the comments because he had a few like kind of insulting lines about people's drafts. And it was kind of like hard to tell. Like we don't know this guy. Is he just like? Is this just how he is? He just likes to joke, or is he
Hmm.
being like kind of a jerk? And his takes were kind of weird. And he had the first overall pick, and he took Jose Altuve over Mike Trout, which was
Yeah.
just like
At the
such a
time, that's
laughable.
insane.
I think Altuve may have just been coming off like an MVP, or
Yeah,
did Altuve
20.
ever win an MVP?
Yeah, 2017. He took Aaron Judge's MVP. Actually,
Well, yeah. So our first season was 2018. So
okay,
he
yeah.
just saw MVP next to Altuve and thought, and don't get me wrong, Altuve was a phenomenal player, probably
Right.
number two, like universally, maybe close at that year. You know what? Real quick, this is a fun. I think this is a
Yeah,
fun
let's
topic.
check
We
it
do
out.
what we want. Me
That's
and
right.
you.
Let's check it out.
Let's look at round one of the draft class. Here it is. I know what mine was, and you'll approve. First year draft class, Altuve went to Sam. Trout gets so lucky. Matt gets so lucky. You don't know Matt either, like barely.
No.
He's the guy kicked out, and he never really had touch points either. Mike Trout at 2 is so lucky. Chris goes Nolan Arenado back in the vintage Colorado days where he's knocking in 120 runs. Mookie Betts to Shea at 4 is also like, yeah, that makes sense. Bryce Harper, pretty
Stud.
young Bryce Harper, already a stud. I took Stanton.
My boy.
I think that maybe it was like the next year he had that like 60 home run.
No,
year,
it was
almost.
that year. It was 2017.
Was it
I
that
think.
year?
Yeah, you drafted
Well, this
him.
is 18.
Well, yeah, you drafted him in 18, but in 17 is when he hit like 59 home runs.
Right. So I
Yes.
drafted him based on the big
Yeah.
performance.
And
And
he
then
got
I never-
he got traded to New York Yankees. Derek Jeter traded
never-
him.
Yeah. He never quite got there.
No.
Charlie Blackmon is kind of a funny guy to see in the first round because he got so old and hung on so long that your image of him almost has gone way down. But in Colorado, dude was a monster.
He was.
Those Charlie Blackmon numbers were crazy.
Chuck Nasty.
And
He was good.
Chuck Nasty. And this dude, he's still in the league technically getting a big paycheck still.
Speaking of the Rockies.
He's on the waivers right now if anybody wants him for old time's sake. Carlos Correa, I think he may have been like just getting started. Pretty young. And then Scherzer.
Mad Max. Yes, sir.
I think we snaked it in year one since there was no reason for anyone to have a certain pick. Just I won't go through the whole thing or whatever, though this Kershaw Sale, second rounders for Kershaw or Sale seems pretty crazy. I remember thinking after I did my very initial like analysis and grading that if I had the first overall pick, that the best overall player in the entire league for fantasy was Joey Votto.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that, and he just did not have it this year.
Yeah, but
This year I
Votto, that was a
drafted
good pick, though. At the time, that was a great pick.
It was based on walks, which are not a tradition. We had never played in a walk league up until this point, because we had leagues before this. I did. I'd been playing fantasy baseball since probably like 7th or 8th grade, which for me is
I love that.
like 2006 or 7 probably.
I graduated in 2000, so
Yeah. I mean, but I think I've been playing fantasy baseball for 20 years. I think that's true.
I love it.
I picked it up like really early, and we had never really played with walks, and Joey Votto was just such a walk monster. I thought people were going to sleep on that, and I would have taken Votto in the first, but I knew I could wait. So I felt real good about Stanton Votto.
Dude, and Strasburg right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
why
I mean,
called
on
him
paper,
straight
though.
Strasburg.
On paper.
On
though.
paper.
Yeah.
I think he didn't have it that year.
It was the next
What
year.
year did they win?
2019,
19.
yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't that great in 2018, but 2019
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Well, and then when I see Brian Dozier in the fourth, sandwiched between like Zach Greinke and Alex Bregman, I'm kind of like, ugh. He was a stud in that second baseman had 40 home run potential, like,
Yeah.
but he just also didn't really have it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I just thought that'd be fun to look
No,
back.
I
at the
love
initial
that.
draft board.
I love that.
And but while we're here, the first official French draft
Yeah.
pick the color coding was really hard to follow back in the day when I was doing these boards. In
Yep.
my defense, it was kind of really freaking complicated. The sliding a down of picks and stuff. I'm
I kept
assuming.
Altuve. It looks like from the player that I
Yeah,
took over.
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
This is when we,
I
of course, had
see.
slot in. If he was drafted in
Yeah,
the first round, we had to keep him in the first round. So
yeah. I think that this is Bryce Harper. It's really hard to read.
hmm
It's a purple Bryce Harper with green text. I think that means that you traded for him, but then you traded him to Casey. And so
yeah,
I think,
Harper got traded a lot.
yeah, yeah, he has been traded a lot. Hey, what's up, girl? It's bedtime for you pretty soon. All right, let's look at the stand. Let's look at the actual scores for this week.
Yeah, man.
It was Maffey and I.
Look at that.
Maffey had been on a little bit of a hot streak,
hmm
but he met trade addiction on the wrong week. As I had 56 innings, no Garrett Crochet, 56 innings, 7 quality appearances, with pretty stout numbers across the board. And he had horrible. I mean, he also just had horrible numbers. Uh,
Yeah.
it was a it was a beatdown all week on pitching, and he clawed back. I was actually ahead in steals and even RBIs like pretty late in the week. I think I wasn't hitting well the whole time, but my guys, I beat him on average by like just percentage points. But
You needed
I
one
think
more
my dudes
swipe. That'd have been nice, right?
that would have been nice. Yeah,
One swipe.
he. I think my dudes hit like almost 400 on the final day
Oof.
to get me a little bit closer in average. So anyway, big win for me. A little bit of a blow for Maffey since I haven't been beating anybody lately. We had Frank with a big win
Mm.
over JW, which is sort of to be expected, I think, given that Frank is the number like 2 team and JW is currently, I think, at the bottom. I love how you can see my daughter just running around back there.
Hey, that's okay. I used to have one of those. She's 12 now. So,
Yeah, you could stay little.
yeah, just please stay little.
Frank with pretty good week on
Mm.
offense. It looks like. I mean, I don't know yet, without looking at everyone's numbers, how those stack up. A lot of runs. It looks like at least a lot of home runs.
Well, yeah, that's some good offensive numbers. Full disclosure, love you, Frank, but I was rooting against you, man, because I was like, geez, I'm trying to get some headway there because I was playing against me at the time. Me and Bo were tied for third place, and I was
Yeah,
trying to get the leg up on him. And we had some great numbers from Frank and Keekum Bombs, and I was like, damn it. So they're still looking good.
yeah. I do see that Alex had a pretty lopsided win here in a minute too.
hmm
Let's go there. Really nothing to write home about here for JW. That average is probably getting pretty close to the bottom of
hmm
history. I think I had a worse one though a couple weeks ago. Alex and Brad looked like it was going to be a pretty big matchup because Brad's been on a pretty good roll. I think he made this big acquisition, sold Wit 123, and got a big package back from Nate. So he's probably disappointed by those offensive numbers. Even still, like Alex wasn't much better in really in almost any of those categories except maybe like RBIs. He just, I mean, he lost slugging by like less than 20, Ks by less than 1% if you put it into percentage.
hmm
Um, average by less than 10 points, walks by 4, home runs tied, runs by 2. Like Brad was one explosive day away from picking up like 4 offensive categories, so maybe it's closer than it appears. But it does look like pretty decisive win for Alex.
Yeah.
Here's your matchup. Any context you can give us to this 971?
Hey, I actually had two. I was at 11 uh, wins there, and then we had Kenley Jensen gave up a walk-off 3-run dongo, and it killed me. And then Darren Williams, or what's his name? I might have said his name wrong. The freaking
Uh,
New York Mets guy.
Devin.
Devin Williams, yeah, he ends up messing up in the ninth as well, and that is what caused me to lose some of these ERA walk matchups. Like look at the ERA and the walks. That was two relievers. Like I had it until the very end, and don't get me wrong, I'm excited for the head to head win, but I was sitting at 11 wins, category wins up until the last second, and then they absolutely unraveled. If I would have benched them, I might have gotten those two categories.
Yeah, I see Jansen with a 13.5 and Devin Williams with a 27. You know, I didn't ask, or I haven't really looked. How has Devin Williams been since you picked him up?
Not
Oh
too
my
bad.
God.
Not too bad. I'm
I
telling
mean,
you, he
look
had.
at this.
No, I mean he had
No
one.
one's no one's
Yeah.
got a hit off of him in like a month. Yeah, not
Yes.
too bad.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? Why not? Like that was just one of those. What's the worst that can happen? I just drop him. Again.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah.
been stellar since I scooped him up off of waivers. But
I mean, yeah.
but
Look
he
at this.
got
No,
me.
like basically no. So
Yeah.
over until he got blown up. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 appearances. If you want to be like smart about it and cut
Yeah.
out one here and cut out one here, there were 7 straight appearances where he gave up 2 hits, walks plus hits across 7 appearances and racked up 5 saves.
That's
4 saves.
that's the guy that the Yankees wanted. That's the guy that the Mets wanted.
Yeah.
So he's been doing good, but
Yeah.
he can give up those bad innings for sure.
It's pretty cool that like to see a team win quality appearances, saves, and holds. It's almost kind of hard to do all of those things.
And I had ERA and walks per
Right.
9 because
Right.
Kenley gave up 2 walks and a walk off 3-run homer. And
Tough.
it took out every one of those. So congrats to Bo, at least on that, to keep it tight. Because, that was,
Yeah.
again, a third place matchup. That was me and him in a great matchup.
Yeah, it feels like
yeah.
y'all could see each other again.
Yes, absolutely.
However, the rematch could be very different from the match in week 8 if the two of y'all would get off your butt and buy some players.
Hey, we're just biding our time. I see
It's gonna be interesting.
JW made the big move today.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that.
Yes,
for
sir.
Sure.
We'll get to
let's
it.
get through this.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Let's get through this. So we had Nate getting a pretty big win over Daron, and this is going to be 2 categories worse because Daron did not get his innings. However, fear not. I actually checked it out already, and I know that Daron on the last day had a guy get rained out or postponed anyway, and another pitcher had to leave in the second inning after injury. It's like sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Like he should have had 55 plus innings, and instead he got 45 too. So he ended up with that's my matchup. But oh wait, I think I just messed it up. But anyways, I saw that Daron did not get innings on this one. Unfortunately for him, he's going to lose those 2 categories, but it wasn't for lack of setting up the lineup or anything.
Yeah, I don't think it was egregious at all. I think it was there was a lot of rain this weekend.
Yeah, he had 3 pitchers ready to go, starting with like 42 or 43 innings or something, and it's just, or maybe it was 40, and he got like most of one start or something. Anyway, Nate doing himself pretty big solid here, staying like up close to the middle. He's sold 2 really big packages of players, and so you would think eventually his performance is going to start going down. Plus, his performance really hasn't been that good VTL wise. I think he may have had a little bit of schedule luck. We'll see in a minute when I look at the numbers, I guess. But he actually, with a really big week on offense here, at least he hit 291. 11 steals and hitting 291. Those are both exceptional. 2 errors, pretty exceptional. The other numbers are not exceptional, but they were good enough this week, as Daron's offense is not crushing it right now. And Nate's pitching, He's traded some guys, but he's still got Scooball and Ryan.
Yeah.
Scooball obviously not pitching, I guess, though, so pretty good numbers, honestly, considering the hodgepodge of. Let me see, like, what are Nate's guys right now?
He might be selling again, like in a couple
Bubba
weeks.
Chandler. What'd you say?
I said he might be selling some more players in a couple weeks.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, he's got some good guys, man, still.
He does. I think they will look at him, too, as part of, like, the trade extravaganza talk that we can have. Glenn also didn't get his innings, and he let me know already, but I didn't have time to look into this one. I don't know why I looked into Daron's, but so I'll take a look. But I know he was in the know and upset that it didn't end up getting to 50. So I'm assuming also there's nothing there, but I'll look at it. But Corey, the counting numbers are pretty good here. Bigger story really of the matchup is just that Glenn's numbers really were weak. And I think at this point it kind of just is what it is. The expansion teams are quite likely going to finish last, those two teams. Not a ton of talent to start with. I wish I could say it was like a totally fair system for expansion teams to come right in and compete, but it's just kind of not possible unless we strip stuff from the active teams, and I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of a long road for both.
Yeah.
I think the more curious question, honestly, will be, what does next year look like? Like, are they able to be contenders next year, or does it even take another year, or at least to be a legitimate high-end contender? Not like, could I maybe make 7th and try to go on a crazy run, but like, so I don't know. It would be a shame if a team had to wait 2 years just to compete, but I do wonder, with the teams who are really, really loading up with picks next year. Then again, Daron's kind of loading up with picks for next year.
Both
right now,
of them got some picks going on.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at that too. Anyway, not a lot of commentary necessary here. Corey didn't necessarily have a good or bad week. It looks like kind of a okay week. A couple numbers that are pretty good, a couple numbers that are kind of underwhelming. But a 16-1 win at the end of the day is huge.
Yeah.
He's going to go vault up the standings, and we can check the standings. It just won't be adjusted for these couple games that are off for Nate and for Corey. And then, oh my, I don't remember this going to 10-4-1. I thought that this was way closer. Wow. I thought this was like almost a 500 match. I wonder if on Sunday things changed or if I'm misremembering. But Casey needed this win. He has not had much. Like, his VTL has been pretty good, but the results just haven't been there.
Right.
And that's super frustrating over a long period of time for you to be. I think last week he was 4th in VTL, but 10th in the standings. I mean, that's criminal.
It is bad luck, but, it is still mid-May.
Yeah. It was the bad luck bowl, as Casey had some pretty bad luck, I would say. And Jeremiah.
Poor Jeremiah, man. My
seems
guy.
to be a victim of bad luck sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So Casey getting the better of him here. I'm just looking at the numbers for the first time, but in hindsight, Frank's numbers were pretty good for this week, like compared to the league. We started with him, and I wasn't sure if 40 RBIs or whatever was good. Like that was a good number. I'm still getting used to kind of what does the 14-team league look like in terms of those numbers? Like, what is a good number? It's still not quite set in
home
yet.
runs is pretty damn good. Who had 14?
Yeah. Frank, I think, had 13.
Yeah,
I think's what it was.
That's pretty damn.
Yeah,
that's some good offensive numbers right there. Like maybe that's not historic, but it's
a far cry from the French heyday where you'd be hitting 23 and 22.
Yeah, man.
It used to be that 20 home runs was the wow, that's a big week. Now it is 13, 14. Anyway, we'll look at the VTL numbers now, but Casey with a much needed win. Jeremiah, tough loss there, but obviously the both of you are trying and have teams that are built to win some games down the stretch. So I'd be surprised, wouldn't be surprised if y'all both still made playoffs at the end of the day. It is shaping up to be kind of a tight race, though. So here's the current standings after all of that is said and done. We have Alex 6 games up on Corey. So Corey, the big mover of the week, with that 16-1. And again, this is not reflecting one game of that. So he'll actually move to within 5 games of Alex. Frank had a bad week like a couple weeks ago or whatever, but otherwise has been really, really strong. And then there's a bit of a gap, and then there's you. You, and followed closely by Bo.
We were
Like you said, I
tied
think you
leading
guys
into
were
this,
tied.
yes, sir.
Yep. Nate is going to get 2 extra wins, but otherwise it would be Nate, Brad, and Maffey all kind of clustered around each other, and they're still pretty close. So right there, that's 8 teams. So one of those teams is not going to make the playoffs. I think it would be easy to say, okay, Nate will probably fall out of that mix. He has sold. He was kind of right in the middle, and now he's sold. And these other teams should be like on the way up, and he should be on the way down.
I agree.
So you could say, okay, well maybe those are your 7 playoff teams. I'm not about to sneak into the playoffs, but then that's where you have Casey here. My mouse is on my video screen. Sorry. So you have Casey, and then you have Jeremiah, and then today we have JW buying. And so if you consider the 7 teams, which is everyone through Maffey here, except for Nate. Sorry. You got these 8 teams. Nate falls out. And then you also have Casey and Jeremiah. Those are 9 teams. And I think every one of them has bought in to some extent, except Maffey. I don't think Maffey's made a single move.
He's historically not really a mover. He's done it before. Like me and him have even made trades in the last couple of years. But Maffey usually stays the course.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's an interesting owner in that way, because we've all basically jumped on board to massive shifts this way or that way every year. You're choosing which massive shift are you going to make, but you're going to make one of the two probably. That's what the average owner does now. You could argue whether that's good or bad. It's obviously fun when you have a lot of trades and stuff, but it'll be interesting to see if he ends up. Whoa! Hey, Daron.
We got us a Daron sighting. Let's go.
What's up, man?
What's good? Hey. Speaking of movers and shakers, here we go.
Yeah.
Trying to make some moves, man.
My man.
We haven't really talked about trade stuff yet. We're going over the standings right now and kind of how many teams are going for it. But we are about to talk through some trades. I'm honestly, we're going a little too long already. I got to kind of speed things up.
Yeah, when you have a guest, we tend to drag it out. I will say just one more time though, full disclosure, because I'm an open book. I did throw something out there to Maffey, and he was like, "Nah, I'm trying to go for it, brother." So I was like, "Okay, right. Hey, I respect that, dude. Let's go." I like that.
We need to get a response from him and see what he's going to do. When are you going to buy? Because here's the thing, and Daron, this is what I was just saying, was we've got Alex, on the screen right now, you can see it's Alex, Corey, Frank, French, Bo. I'm skipping over Nate because he should fall out of the standings eventually, probably, especially if he sells another big package. Then Brad, and then Maffey. That's 7. There's 7 of the top 8. You could kind of infer that those are the top 7 right now, unless you consider Nate I don't even think Nate wants to be in the playoffs. Nate won't make.
No, it doesn't look like it, right? Yeah.
He doesn't want to, because then he'll have a higher pick if he falls out, and he's not have any talent left, so he's not going to go on a run. So those are the top 7 right now. I'm in the middle too, but I'm gonna not be a contender for playoffs. I don't want to make the playoffs at this point. And then you have Casey and Jeremiah, who have both already sold their firsts, both to me. I'm not rooting against you per se, Casey or Jeremiah, but seeing you at 10-11 is okay for now with me, right? So it's going to be interesting because we don't know any of those buying teams that are going to sell. but I think history says someone will probably reverse course when we're getting close, and they're thinking about the prospect of running 3 rounds against super teams. Or maybe there won't be any super teams. Do y'all feel like, as Daron, this is more for French because he has the historical knowledge, but French, as you look around the league right now, if you have, do you feel like there are any super teams, or are we not there yet? We don't have any team that you would call a super.
In my opinion, I wouldn't call anybody a super team. I know Keegan Bombs, my boy Alex, he's made like quite a big trade, but it's just one trade, to one team.
Yeah.
And we've had some other people's. Corey has made several trades, but I still wouldn't consider that
He's spent.
a super team yet. Like I don't think anybody has gathered super team status yet to where we're all sitting back and saying, "Are you kidding me, man?" Like everybody's kind of
Right.
like, "Okay, I got you," because
So,
the people who are in the top 8, top 7 right now, they still have a shot because don't get me wrong, like one of the teams was in the 20s, but as far as games back, it's still some pretty good, closeness there with some good teams there.
yeah, I guess I didn't go over like games back really after that. So Casey is
Hmm.
now only 5.5 back of Maffey. We're in week 9, so there's plenty of time. Jeremiah started from a little bit further back just because he kept losing, just with some pretty bad luck
Yeah,
on his
he had
opponent
bad luck. Poor
matchups.
guy.
So he is 11.5 back of Maffey, which again, Maffey currently is in 8th. So there's work to do, but I mean he's bought in already. He just got a package from Nate. He already bought a package from me. And I think he still has some picks left. I mean, I assume Jeremiah's going to spend them all. That's what he did when he won the whole thing in
Hmm.
24. He spent every last dime, and so did I.
Yeah.
But so let's look at VTL because yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't think we have a super team, not at all.
Hmm.
Part of it's because like it just so happens that we've had enough selling packages as a selling core here to service like every single team once, except for you, Bo, and Maffey. And I don't know that we're done selling though, right? Like you said, Nate maybe has one more package in him. He has a couple expirings of Yandy Diaz and Joe Ryan. Like they're moving somewhere.
Hmm.
I haven't ruled out selling again. I'm sure Daron and Glenn are both looking to try to get a first rounder if they can. I know JW bought today, but I wouldn't be surprised if JW was flipping some of those guys back at the deadline. So like we're probably going to see some more talent go out to the good teams, and the teams that have a first are going to be first in line for whatever's left. And as long as the talent goes to those teams, it's all going to be spread out.
Yeah.
And this is the beauty of having like 9 people buying, is that you don't really get a super team unless someone just so happens to have like hoodwinked 2 or 3 people like consecutively, which you can't really, there's nothing you can really do about that as a commissioner or anyone. So I've been pleased to think about like we haven't had that super team feel yet at all.
I sent a trade out to
Um,
Daron. Let's see what happens.
all right, you
Yep,
guys
I'm
want
gonna
to
take
work
a
a
look at
trade
it
right
today,
now?
bro. I haven't had a chance yet, bro.
Hey, you're good, man. I've sent him like 1,000 trades, and then I'll back out of one. Then I send him another one. I'll back out again.
You shouldn't have
We'll
backed
see
out
what
that
happens.
one, French. It was pretty good, man. It's pretty
Well,
damn good.
hey, what I'm trying to do is just blow up your notifications. Is all I'm doing.
Drain your phone
Yeah,
battery.
that's right. But
All
let's
right,
check it out.
let's look at the week 8 VTL. How big is this? Like, can y'all see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
Okay. So we have batting VTL. Oh, you know what? I think I hid the wrong column. Oh man, I didn't mean to. Hang on.
Yeah.
Here's VTL. So crazy enough, I had a 63% VTL this week, despite my poor general construction of my team at this point. Big week pitching. French had a 60% week based on some big batting and average pitching. Bo was average despite being really good at batting. He was really bad at pitching. That's a shocker. I think that's the first week that he has been bad
Yeah, talk about
because he's
luck.
been
Yeah.
He's been so good. Right, for you, yeah, that's a huge deal because even though your pitching was only 51%, his pitching was 33, so you actually got a few wins in that area. Frank had a really good week. 76% is very impressive. Over 67% on both sides of the ball as well. That's very impressive indeed. JW with 37%. 20% on batting. That's tough. He and Glenn both sharing that low number. JW's pitching 57.6%. And we know today he added a couple big-time guys. For breaking news, for anyone that doesn't know, Daron and JW had a trade go through earlier today, and that sent Corbin Burns and Zach Wheeler over to JW, in addition to some other dudes. I kind of forget the final package. But the pitching for JW just got a little bit better for sure. His batting's been the tough part. Nate with a good week, over 58% on both. Jeremiah with just a tough, bad week. So I know I said how he's been unlucky, but like the performance also hasn't been like super sharp. So this probably the worst of Jeremiah's worst week of his season. But 28% on both sides of the ball, that's really tough. And he lost to Casey, who only went 44% VTL. So for Casey to get a 10-4-2 win, despite going only 44%, that's quite fortunate for Casey. Alex and Corey both with big weeks, balanced weeks. Both of them over 59% on both sides of the ball. Maffey 42% with a good offensive week and a terrible, terrible pitching week against me, who happened to have a really good pitching week. Yeah, how's that pitching matchup? A 73% pitching matchup against a 20%.
Oof.
Daron did not have a good week really on either side of the ball, though the batting was a little bit better. Hey, Daron, did you see that you missed your innings?
Yeah, I saw it, man.
It was bullcrap, though, because you had a dude have a start get postponed, and you had another guy had to get out in the second.
You had 45, man.
I'm not mad at you or anything, because that was just nothing you could do about it. And then I think I mentioned earlier, Glenn, pretty rough week as well, both sides of the ball below 30%. So the season-long numbers now reflecting that new batch of data. Alex is still top of the standings, but third in VTL, fourth on both sides of the ball. Corey jumps up to second in the standings, but just fourth in VTL. So 1-2 in the VTL is Frank Bowe still.
Yeah.
It's 60% for Frank, so he's kind of a distant first. Then there's Bowe, followed very closely by Alex and Corey. Little step down to get to French, and then very close is Casey. And Brad hanging around 52%. And yeah, it's kind of where the good VTLs stop. Me and Nate are around 50%. Maffey's actually only at 48%. That's a little bit of a surprise. I thought his hot streak had been pushing the number up higher than that. What are you guys doing? You guys in here?
I'm guys in here.
Yeah. You wanna come over here?
Mine.
What's up, man?
That's French. That's Daron. I know. I'm sorry. I can only fit one of you right here.
Yeah. I only have one knee.
Yeah. Only one. Yeah.
On
So-
my side.
So we got batting and VTL numbers here.
Side to side.
I don't think I want to get too far into those, honestly, at this point. I just want to talk through some of the trades.
Yeah.
The big news for today was the Daron and JW trade. So,
Yes, sir.
Daron, since you're here, we can talk about like what that does for your team.
Let's go.
So, with the trade executed now, you have 3 firsts,
Look at that.
3 seconds, a third, 2 fourths, a fifth, and 2 sixths. So that's a lot of draft capital at the top of a draft that's going to be pretty good. Now, you do have Frank and Corey's picks. Both of them figure to be like top. Both of them are going to be serious contenders for the semifinals. So if those picks are in the back of the first, it's not quite the same. But you got to start somewhere when you're trying to build over year like you are.
Yep.
And the 2 seconds were involved in today's trade. So you got JW's second, which is likely to be a top 7 pick, right? I don't think even with this package that we're probably expecting JW to rise as a playoff team starting that far back. And you got Frank's second as well as your own. So 6 picks in the top 2 rounds. I don't know if I did say this, but I think I might have, is getting 6 picks up at the top. Hey, you just making goofy noises. You got to get down.
No.
Okay, well, no more noises. 6 picks in the top 2 rounds is a job well done, I think.
I think so.
Working on it, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you a couple more,
still,
you know?
You still have... Wait, did I execute that trade?
Yeah, you did.
I think
You did
so,
already.
yeah.
Wait, so you kept Corbin Burns? I thought I saw that Corbin Burns was
No,
part of the
Corbin is
deal.
part of it. I kept Glass now.
Well, why do you still show Corbin right here? I thought I put the trade through.
Is it because it's not going through? Because some of the games have started.
Some of the games are playing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
this is Monday's roster, so it should be active. Maybe
Click-
I didn't.
Click Tuesday. Go to Tuesday.
Yeah, let me try that. But let me look first at this.
Yep.
Dude, it went to a different league. Don't worry about that one.
What is that league?
Yeah, there he is. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah,
let me
go to his
Tuesday.
team. Yeah.
Get the phone.
Okay, yeah, I saw someone disappear. So I would say with those 3 firsts and 3 seconds, and you still have Tyler Glass now, you still have a couple contracts that are, I think, quite intriguing. You're probably not going to have like $100 worth of just straight studs. That's for sure, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think you have a nice runway ahead of you now to build something and stack on it next year. And I'll just say, I know I've talked to Daron about like direction, about whether he thinks he can compete next year or whether he should take it until the next year. So like, this is a good way to start that build towards 2028 if that's what it is.
Yep.
Or you may surprise yourself and see who's available, and you might be able to do something next year.
2028 bound, brother.
Yeah,
To be
so
fair,
I
there
think-
are some pretty expensive contracts that might not get kept, you know. So you
This
got
year
3
or-
1s and
or
3
next?
2s. I'm talking about
Yeah.
2027's
Two
draft.
of them.
So
Yeah,
we'll see,
so-
man. He might at least be a playoff bound player next year.
Yeah, so the people we know for
They're
sure
getting my
are
hopes up,
expiring. Yeah. The
I'm
people that
buttering
we
him
know
up.
are expiring. The ones that can't be kept are here. Joe
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, O'Neal Cruz, Mackenzie Gore, Nick Lodolo, Nico Horner, Yandy Diaz, George Kirby, Corbin Carroll, and Gunnar Henderson. So, with your pick, Daron, you're right now kind of, hey, I can't hear when you talk, okay? Can you let me talk instead? Okay? You okay to stay up here like that? So your pick, Daron's probably towards the end of the first round. I mean, not the end. Not the end. I was wrong. But it's probably going to be like 6 or 7, 5, 6 or 7. And so I don't know that, Corbin Carroll, Gunnar Henderson probably are not going to make it to you. But you just never know. There's more trades to come. And they're just 2. Joe Ryan, I don't know for sure if people would want him like literally at the top of the draft, but maybe he's a really good pitcher.
Yeah.
And the second that $25 Aaron Judge isn't kept,
Next year,
no,
2028.
but I'm saying for next year, like
Yes, sir.
Tatis, Freeman, maybe Jose Ramirez, Mookie Betts, Acuna, maybe. I assume probably is going to be hard to keep at 25. Trey Turner, Corey Seager. I could see all of those guys being dropped.
Yeah.
And so there is a great chance that at 6'5", 6'7", Daron's going to pick up one impact guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then several of these dudes that are in this class, $20, you have Tyler Glass now, but if you trade him, someone else who owns him at 20, that might start to be a little bit tough to keep. Like Matt Olson's doing too good to drop, but like Devers, Machado, Alonso, Ketel Marte, like we're going to start seeing some other stud bats get dropped for price.
Right.
So I think there's a chance the entire first round could basically be like current or former all-star bats and pitchers. I think this year's first round is going to be loaded.
Cool.
So I think
I
you're
agree.
off to a really good start, Daron.
That's what I like to hear, fellas.
And I know I'm
We're
not,
just glad
not
to
leaving a
have
whole, Yeah, definitely. Not leaving a whole lot of room for conversation, but I think I got to call it pretty soon.
Yes,
So I
sir.
just wanted to say that the move from JW is so interesting. I would have never, expected the team in last, pretty far out from the playoffs, right? What are we right now? He's 24 games out. And it's week 9, but that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, and I have talked to JW a little bit about how he feels about his team. I don't want to put all his thoughts out in the open, but it's interesting for sure. I don't think we've ever seen a move like it. It's pretty fun, I think, and the fact that it wasn't like he sold his entire draft to do this.
Yeah.
He had just acquired all of those, like first, second, third, from selling Mizurowski. French, any Mizurowski regret?
Yes, because I kept Freddie Freeman instead of both the Miz and Chase Burns.
Oh man,
I had
I forgot that you
both
traded me Chase
of
Burns.
them, and I decided because I want a slugger, I want a guy who hits for average
That's-
homers, and I was like So I would have had both of them.
Anyone who stuck around to 47 minutes was just rewarded with that nugget that you had,
had
Mizurowski
both.
and Chase Burns.
Yep, and I
mean,
said,
you traded me Chase Burns. I forget what I even gave you, but yeah.
well,
Yeah, that's wild.
once I acquired Freddie Freeman, because Alex was like, if you give me a third, you can have Freddie. So I was like, sure. So once I had him, I said, well, I can't keep some people. So the only pitcher I kept was Cam Schlittler, which I'm not mad that I kept Cam Schlittler,
Yeah.
but I would have had the
Man.
Miz and Chase Burns as well. And if going back, I would absolutely rather have Miz and Chase Burns over Freddie
Man.
Freeman.
You could have Schlittler, Burns, and Mizurowski. You would probably be the title favorite right now.
Yeah, I
Without having
hosed up.
spent. Oh, that's tough, man.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
tough.
It is. I mean, it's all hindsight. It is tough, bud.
That's not a puff. It's tough.
Well, hey, boys. I mean, I appreciate the get along. I'm glad we went to 48 minutes.
Yeah, that's a nice long video. So, I don't know. There's so many other like trade things we could talk about, but I think it is probably about time for me to call it. But
Yes, sir.
I do think that there's still definitely some bombs to drop in the trade world, and
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see who decides to kind of still look at the market. My only worry for you and Bo and Maffey is like, well, what's left? And I know I said how like there will probably be more moves to be made, and the
Yeah.
people with first are going to be first in line. But any fear that like you're just not going to have a package left for you by the time you're ready to strike, or do you feel
No,
like
actually, this is what I'm thinking. Don't get me wrong. I'm in 4th place right now. I was in 3rd place. Like, I'm hoping to be up there, but you never know. I could slide. I could have an epic slide. But I'm hoping to stay within the top 4 or so. And then someone who is 5, 6, 7, 8 is now, by the trade deadline, they slide down. And they're like, you know what? F it. I'm going to go ahead and sell because,
Sell everything. Yeah.
I'm not doing very well right now. When I was doing good on May 25th, I'm not doing good right this second. So We'll see, and I think Maffey and Bo have the same
Don't hit that.
idea. Like let's just hang in there because we have not bought in, and we're still hanging in there. So we'll see. We still have the chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw Bo a couple years ago sell at the deadline when he was for sure a buyer. It looked like he had made buying moves. Hey, too loud right now. Okay, too loud. Yeah, you can do it. So thought I turned that thing off. Bo sold even though we thought at the time he was a buyer. And I think last year maybe there was like a Casey sell, even though he had made a couple buying moves too. So I think that certainly could be feasible. Wouldn't be too shocked by that. I just wonder who would be the team.
Yeah.
And it could be like a Casey or a Jeremiah if for whatever reason they don't fight their way out, and it's trade deadline time. There's still 5 weeks left in the regular season, but they don't know if they're going to make the playoffs at all. And they have a little bit of an uphill climb. And if they make the playoffs, they're going to have to beat 3 consecutive good teams to win it all. I could see a scenario where one of them says, maybe I should just recoup something. And so it'd be interesting.
We still got our ones.
I'm really curious to watch. Okay, dude.
Well, you got your hands full, brother.
There you go. He came up to me and said, "It's not turning off." I'm like, he turned it back on after I already had turned it off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry, it wasn't like super long conversation or anything, but we did go down a few rabbit holes before you joined, Daron. So.
And I wasn't echoing this time, so it worked out, right?
It seems like the audio quality is great as far as I could tell. So this is great. Thank you all for joining in.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Hey, y'all have a good rest of your week. Yes, sir.
There's one more thing. So I've been meaning to do this, and I haven't thought about it till just this moment because it's still not on my routine. But I like to see in a given week who were the players that really just killed it.
Oh, MVPs, yes, sir.
The MVPs of the week. So I'm going to look last 7 days. Let me make sure that it's set right. From Monday, the 18th, to Sunday, the 24th. We're going to look at 3 hitters and 3 batters. We got to choose our MVPs of the week. I usually look at it like
Ooh, Marte.
the score. The score kind of tells you. So Ketel Marte, 15 for 28 with 11 runs, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, 3 walks, hit .536 and slugged 1,000.
Yeah, that'll get you MVP numbers.
That's automatic. That's automatic entry into one of the 3 slots. I see it has Juan Soto beneath that. Not quite the at bat total, to go all the way up. I like to give credit to dudes who did it for a full week, but it's pretty close. Nick Kurtz.
On base streak, man. He's still going.
I haven't heard about that at all, but he 11 hits, 6 runs, 8 RBIs, 7 walks, a steal, hit 423, struck out a bit. Ohtani quite good as well with lower strikeouts as well. I don't know. I think I might be inclined to go. I didn't see Soto hit 4 home runs. I think it might just straight be Ketel Marte, Juan Soto, and Shohei Ohtani.
I'd give it to them, yeah.
Nick Kurtz was a nice honorable mention. Casey Schmidt as well, for your team, French.
Yeah,
Quite
he's been
the week.
pretty good.
Quite the week for him. And then pitching-wise, I like double starts. I usually will sort this by innings pitched and look who was amazing. Yamamoto definitely pitched twice, only a 1.29 ERA. The strikeouts weren't quite right for MVP lock per se. Ooh, look at Max Meyer.
Smart, yeah.
13 innings, did not give up a run, over a K per inning. No home runs, of course. He didn't give
Look
up
at
any
that batting
runs.
average.
He was unhittable. Max Meyer for sure is one of the 3, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm looking down here at Walbert Urania, and he pitched 11 innings. Looks like he gave up 1 run. Pretty low batting average. He did walk a few dudes. The strikeouts aren't like insane. That's pretty dang good though. You go up on the hill twice and only give up 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
And Yamamoto, even if he didn't strike people out, 14 innings, he gave up I guess that's probably 2 runs.
I like
think
that.
I'm leaning towards
Yamamoto,
Max
Mayer.
Yamamoto, and probably Urania. I mean, he's the only guy that really just didn't give up anything.
I agree with
mean,
that
Ryan
as well.
Nelson did great, but he's not the image of dominance on the mound.
A lot of ground balls.
Yeah. More power to him. I think those are the 3. Urania sneaks in there, and if you're not on the front page of innings, then it's kind of like if you have a complete game shutout, maybe in the right context. So like Steven Kolek had a complete game shutout. I had no idea. He struck out 2 guys. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one with Urania, maybe. Is
I'd
it
still
better
give
to
it-
say?
I almost think Urania still with that ERA and two quality appearances.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, well, those will be our 3 and 3. I'll have them on the thumbnail of the video.
There you go. I like that.
That's just one
Cool.
thing I like to throw in there.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, I think that'll be it, fellas.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's week 8.
Appreciate you guys, man.
And,
Hey.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks
for
for
joining,
joining, man.
It's fun, man. I didn't know it was this fun. Pretty good.
Yeah, Daron's
Good
been the
stuff.
most popular man of the last couple days with
My
this trade package out there.
Trying to keep it going, man, for a little bit longer.
No, that's right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. I'll see you next time.
All right,
All right,
boys.
appreciate it.